Welcome everyone to a Tuesday Newsday on the Global Exclusive Podcast with me, Baros, and more importantly, with Sinzar, the FFBE mastermind that I really hope didn't listen to our last episode, actually.
I did. I got called out in the first 30 seconds.
Yeah. I'm sorry. Like, but like in my defense, you do really push hard for the meta and the meta units.
I do.
Although that is very understandable, right? If you want to perform at the very top, especially in a DV event running right now, right? That where you really have to push those numbers up in order to get a decent ranking, you really need these units.
That is not the best example because I am suffering in this current Dark Visions event by not chasing Dark Vision specific units.
Yeah, no. I get it. I get that. And we've already talked about how this format does lower motivation to run it again, right? Like, and then it ends up just being people re-rolling variants forever, which is really a shame. I might even, strike boycott this by just using my Regina clear as my actual clear and not do, even though I really have the people that are top scoring, I really have basically all those units, so should be able to perform decently. Yeah, let's see.
Well, now you can pull Edgar to go with your Regina clear.
Oh, really? Oh, that's going to be interesting. Okay, nice segue into the banner, actually. So, we have Final Fantasy 6. Again, we know this. I've said this so many times. This is my favorite Final Fantasy game, hands down. Not to say that the others are bad. There are some extremely good Final Fantasy games, but this one is my favorite for many reasons. And one of them, of course, being nostalgia. And this is the first Final Fantasy banner, I want to say, where Terra isn't the frontrunner. Right?
She does have an event here, but yeah, she is not on the banner itself.
Yeah. Which is fine. Again, there are many protagonists in Final Fantasy VI, and the Figaro brothers are definitely big in the game. Okay, so before we start recording, you called this a shit banner, so I am afraid to scroll down here. Because and I also have 0 lapis, so I'm gonna have to rely on my huge Final Fantasy VI luck, because I've always pulled the Final Fantasy VI units, always. The game knows this is my favorite game. So let's see if that luck holds.
It might be time to stop that.
Well, I mean, I would still be very, very happy for having these units. You know me, I've really shifted my mindset of this game to just playing it for enjoyment. So I do clear trials, clear cows, clear DVs with units I like, rather than trying to top score, and that has really raised my quality of life, or I want to say experience with this game.
That's cool. And these units are not like absolute bottom dumpster or anything. They're just not like at the top. And I've said it before, in my opinion, you have to be at the top to be worth chasing. Yeah. But if you're chasing them just for fun factor, they're usable. They're mid-tier.
Yeah. Good. I'm happy to hear that. Although I do know some units have problems, and we don't know if they're gonna be fixed. But let's jump into these problems. Oh wow, that was actually a great pun. And talk about Edgar. So Edgar is the first NV unit on banner, and he is a true Brave Shift unit. Again, surprise.
Yes. So he's he's a breaker in the base form, but he unfortunately just has unfortunate breaks. He doesn't have any 89s. It's just he's just not that good of a breaker, really.
Yep.
But okay. He has them, and he can do some LB damage in the base form. I think he has 400 or something modifier with Titus STMR, which is not that high. So it's 300 plus Titus makes it 400. But the thing is,
so it's actually lower than Knights of Grandchild, basically, which is and who's bringing Knights of Grandchild, right?
Yeah, exactly. And but the thing is, I think he was the first. Him and Sabin were the first 150 amplifiers on JP. So when he came out, that 150 amp really propped him up a lot. And of course, we didn't realize every unit going forward would have 150 amplifies. So yeah.
Right.
But so that does help him a decent amount. That said, on global, we've already got the Chrono Cross units, and we know going forward, everyone has 150 amps going forward. Every unit has a 150 or better. So, and including older updated units start getting them as well, Sephiroth, Dark Rain, etc.
That's the new baseline, basically.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But he can do it on his SLB, and by calculations, his SLB with the 150 amplify is approximately comparable to Hero Die from Dragon Quest with a 100 Sylvie Amplify.
So kind of like you said, a mid-tier. A mid-tier unit, basically, serviceable, but maybe not more. Now, I know that he can jump, though. And I know that there's a serious problem with his jump. Do you think that's going to be fixed in GL?
I seriously doubt it. Yes, that is kind of the meme with him, is his Amplify is a 2-turn Amplify, and jumps cannot be multicasted. So even if he couldn't multicast his jump in the amp, because his jump is a 2-turn jump, and it's staying that way based on the news, it still wouldn't work. But he can't even if it was lowered to 1 turn, it still wouldn't work because you can't multicast jumps.
Yeah.
So yes, he cannot amplify his jump with the 150 amplify.
I mean, they would have to just increase his amp. That's the only, and it's a very simple fix, right? It would maybe, yeah, exactly, the duration of the amp. Sorry.
Yes. Now, but here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. Now, he's balanced around that amp working on his LB, which brings him to like mid tier, and it doesn't work on his jump. If the amp did work on his jump, he would be overpowered, because that would literally triple his jump damage, because currently the best you can do is a 45 amp, and it's okay-ish damage. If you all of a sudden made a 150 amp work on the jump, that would literally go more than 3 times higher damage, and he would all of a sudden do like more than gold, which is way off chart. So they definitely are not going to make the amp work on the jump.
Oh man, that's a really big shame. Maybe the fix here would be to actually give him a 80% or 100% amp, also self-only, but that would last like the 3 turns needed, right?
Well, no, you could literally attach the amp to the jump, just like Kane's is. So when you jump, it amps the jump itself, and it'd be perfect. And they could very easily tune that to a reasonable damage number and make him deal, I don't know, something relevant, but just not, Dai's level from 6 months ago.
Yeah, but to be fair, his jump already does this. What they would need to do is just increase the amp on it, right?
Yeah, exactly. They'll have to increase the amp, like you said, I'm not sure the exact number where the sweet spot would be, but like 80% amp would probably be, high up and worth it, but just not overpowering.
Yeah,
something like that.
I mean, we already do have Golbez, so like hitting somewhere between Golbez and Tidus or something like that would be pretty nice for a new unit. Although we've talked about this before, and some of these, or many of the Final Fantasy mainline banners are usually not units that are in the very top, and my suspicion is because people pull for them anyway, right? For the nostalgia reasons. So they don't have to be overpowered in a way. But it would still be nice if Edgar hit harder than fucking Dragon Quest Dai, right? Like, it would be nice if he actually was close to be top, at least.
I would say that, but then again, not really, because the ones that are meta from Final Fantasies are the ones in JP that are premiums, which is Final Fantasies 10 and Final Fantasy 7. And JP loses their mind over those units. So whether they're premium, garbage tier, dumpster tier, a JP player is going to dump their entire stash on a new cloud no matter what anyway.
Right.
So
no, that's a good point. That's a good point. They just choose to shit on Final Fantasy 6. I've said this before, though. Somebody at Gumi doesn't like Final Fantasy 6 because we've seen problems in Final Fantasy 6 banners for a while. So, hey, Gumi, this is your actual chance to just bump the amp on his jump to 100% for the jump duration only. That's all you need to do. It's not going to affect anything else. It's not going to affect his LB. It's not going to affect anything, just the jump. And he might actually be serviceable. You might be bringing him to, ice fights, at least.
Yeah, and that's kind of like a good lead to my next point. Even if all of this stuff happens and Edgar does become meta, the other persistent problem that is not going to be fixed is the fact that ice is literally the worst element in the game at the current time. Has been for a long time. It's going to stay that way going forward. Ice is just a bad element. So unless they add a global unit to fix that problem, it has the worst support, the worst dedicated ice DPS. The only thing even remotely making ice on the map is Regina from JP. Other than that, exactly like Chad says, Regina is ice and she can by herself kind of carry things. But for players that have used Regina, the support for ice just doesn't exist. It's like the only element that doesn't have a 100% amplify. That is still the case in JP today.
No, for sure.
External amps.
And I feel that pain, like bringing Regina. I mean, I love Regina. I love her design. I love the fact that like you build a team around her. It's a very different way to building a team compared to a normal team, which I love that variant. Like, I love that variety in the game. But it is true, like, for support wise, like, you have so few options. Like, of course, I mean, obviously Freyavia is the best option because she can do, a small amp field and her own amp and Imperil. But, like, we don't have the big Imperil that we have for other elements. We don't have the big single target amp that we have for other elements. We do not have the big enemy area Imperil field either. Like, these three key components that make other teams OP do not exist for Ice. And that is true. Like, but hey, maybe I actually don't see Nier having Ice units, so never mind. But maybe a GLEX in the future.
Hope so. Really do.
Yeah, give Regina 150% self amp instead. That would solve all of her problems. Actually, she doesn't have any problems. She's a fucking broken unit already. I think she's great. Okay, all right, but yeah, unfortunate. I would love to see an ice support unit at some point, because I'm always worried when you say ice is a bad element that it's actually countered by we're getting trials that are going to be immune to ice, but that's not the case. It's actually just that it's a bad element because we can't support it as well as we can support water teams or lightning or earth or fire and so on.
Exactly.
It's a shame. Why are they forgetting ice? Like what's the problem? Ice has never really been a strong element, right? Like, have we ever in the history of this game had OP ice?
Not really. I mean, we had the original Freyavia on global, but JP has really never had it.
Oh yeah, that's true. So original Fry was like the strongest damage dealer for quite a while in GL. Maybe that scared them away.
It's possible.
Okay, but let's move on to the second NV then on the banner, which is Sabin, right? Embracer Freedom Sabin, and he is by classic JP design an actual SLB unit, and he's a fire unit.
He's a fire unit. He basically does nothing except his SLB. Kind of like Tyvis, he's just an SLB unit and no support really.
Right.
That being said, his damage is pretty unfortunate. It's slightly better than Edgar, but actually I kind of got him mixed up. The one that does basically the same as Dai's damage is Sabin. Edgar does less than.
Man, that's unfortunate. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's Sabin a Tyvis level unit, right? So basically, nothing. This unit is doing nothing in your party except doing the damage.
Yeah. Now, that being said, I will say for the current Dark Visions, he might be a little bit more useful because he does have a bonus extra damage versus Beast as a racial LB. So versus Beast specifically, he does hit harder. And the current final boss is a Beast, weak to fire. Surprise, surprise. It's a fight for Sabin. So he'll do... So it's kind of like a Nelica situation where Sabin can be good for the current Dark Vision, and then you're going to put him on the bench, and you will never see him again.
So important question then.
Is he like the best unit? No.
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, is he the best unit for this DV? But then if he isn't, then, will people even pull for it?
Yeah, he was good on JP, but Global's got things like, the Global Golbez, the Global upgraded Surge, stuff like that. Yeah. So because we've got so many other options, in the running for it, Sabin's like pick number 6 or something. So he's still just not even that great.
Oh, okay. Huh. Big shame. He has an STMR that's a 220 attack, two-handed fist with some killers on it. I guess that's decent. Maybe not enough to have you pulling for it, I guess.
Yeah, it's okay. It's got 100 beast killer, so whatever.
Yeah. Their card is decent. We should mention that maybe. It is a 130 attack card, but it's series limited with the flat attack, right? Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so it's good for these two units, right. And I guess if you're doing like a DPS lock or something, I don't know.
Bring back Cyan or something.
Cyan, yeah, it actually would be good for Cyan, but yeah, you're just not using it.
Yeah, 250 modifier is not really cutting it more, unfortunately. Okay, and then the final unit on the banner is actually an NVA Gao. And he is also turning into an SLB unit.
Yep, he is the best unit on the banner.
Oh, no, wow. I'm kidding. No, okay.
No, he actually can do like something just like Sabin. He's a bonus damage versus Beast. He's got like a let me calculate this. I think it's 360 by default to Beast. It's a two-parter, so that'd be 420 plus it's 520x LB versus with Titus.
That's not bad.
Well. It is pretty not bad. That being said, he is a 3-star base, meaning his attack power is absolutely atrocious.
Yeah, for sure. I am also seeing that he got an update, actually. They updated his Rage Meteor ability. I don't know what the update would be, but it's updated. It says updated in the news.
Currently the modifier is like a 6 because it was designed in 2016.
Right.
He's one of the originals. Now it's upgraded to like 500x.
Okay.
I mean, it's you single cast it, so it's who cares.
Yeah. All right. Interesting, I guess. Interesting. And he's getting an STMR that's, again, only good for him and nobody else. I hate when they do this with STMRs.
What? No.
What do you mean?
Where are you getting this from? It's a 75 beast killer for anyone. That's amazing.
Oh, I thought it was Gao only. Oh, no. The number 1 is Gao only. The 500 flat attack. Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
This is kind of like Guy's STMR, but for Beast. It's really good.
Although, I don't know. I wouldn't say, like, really good because I feel Beast is really easy to come by. We have some really big materia for Beast. We have good espers for Beast. This is quite a big drop from like wearing the cow chest of 165 attack for a TDH unit.
It's accessory.
Oh, I thought this was a chest because it looks like a fucking chest, Gumi. Like, what the actual fuck? Okay, that's actually really good then. Never mind everything I said. As an accessory is actually really nice. Okay. Never mind. Get more of these than one then. Holy shit. I don't know how many Gaos I have. Probably none because he's not been in the pool for a while, but fuck, we might get an SDMR for free, though, with these units. Sometimes we do. So keep that in mind, people. If you get multiple Gaos, you might want to just Moogle one of them and then upgrade the other one, basically. Okay. Nice. But it's fun that at least they are getting upgrades, although I see no upgrades for the other FF6 units. Did this happen in JP as well, that none of the units were upgraded?
Well, Terra was upgraded with EX skills and her upgraded LB and all, like a year and a half ago, and Global skipped that. I really expected them to be like, bring Terra's upgrades with this event because they're giving her the crown fight, but it's not in the news, so I guess we're still not getting the Terra upgrades.
That's so weird. That is weird.
We also skipped the upgrades for Locke. His EX skills, we skipped the upgrades for Shadow. His entire unit upgrade we skipped. All of these have been skipped from Final Fantasy VI. The chat is saying, Rigoro is saying Celeste on the chat. I don't think Celeste had an upgrade we skipped. I could be forgetting one if I am pointed out. I don't think we skipped the Celeste upgrade.
Yeah, Celeste
should have. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they're saying that she should have had an upgrade. I agree.
For sure. Well, that's actually true because Celeste was a fantastic unit when she came out, but she's falling behind now as the meta for magic tanks is going upwards. So giving her some upgrades would actually definitely be, needed. It is a shame. I would love to see some of these old units more serviceable. I mean, we also know that none of these upgrades actually change the meta in any way or make them actually good. But hey, I guess.
I would say that Terra's EX skills, the upgrade to her LB that made it 100% field, was useful and still can be useful because unlike Esther's, Terra's doesn't like sabotage the other side fields.
Right.
It's not like going to make her meta, but that one could, like, yes, I do agree. Shadow's upgrades wouldn't have changed anything. Locke's upgrades were like whatever. He's not a DPS anyway. Who cares?
Right.
But Terra's upgrades, I feel like that could have mattered.
I mean, that would also be so fun because she kind of would then transition from being this evoker to actually being this support unit that can do a pretty strong amp field for 3 elements and then also the LB field.
Yeah, the LB. I'm actually saying it doesn't matter. It absolutely would matter because, like, you don't want to ever bring Esther to a mage fight in Dark Visions. Terra would be great on, like, Dark Aemon right now with her LB field and stuff like that. But
yeah, that is true.
That's not an option on Global.
That's actually very true. I'm ashamed to see this not happening, especially since I have said this so many times. I think I say this every time we talk about units not being upgraded, because I think many players, not all, but I think many players are playing this game for the nostalgia and have some type of connection to some of these games, and just making it fun to use one of these units once in a while is a great upgrade to player quality, right? Even though it's not going to change what whales chase, it's not going to change the bottom line. It's just a shame. Honestly, just a shame.
Yep.
Yeah, but we're getting another Mog King, and this is the Mog King that fucked all of JP over, right?
Yes.
Is it gonna fuck us as hard?
Thankfully, for this time, Hiroki was merciful.
Oh,
We are not getting as bad of a downgrade that JP got. So in JP, they just straight up remove EP bonuses. They were just gone. You
okay.
got no bonus. You got a flat 1,000 per run, no modifiers whatsoever. Global is dropping our EP bonuses down to 20% per EX3 and less for EX2 and below, etc. But at max EX3 is now going to be only 20%. Normally it's 30%.
Right.
So JP took it away entirely. Global is only dropping it to 20%, meaning if you have a full team of maxed bonus units, you'll get a 120% EP bonus, meaning you will get 2,200 EP per run versus JP getting 1,000. So you're doing it about 2.2 times faster on global.
Right.
It's still worse. It's still a nerf, but it's nowhere near as big of a nerf as it was on JP.
So I'm gonna do a hot take here. I definitely think what they did on JP was absolutely horrible.
It
But
is.
I'm gonna be honest. I actually think this might be a positive change, and I'm gonna say I know people are gonna hate me for this, but I honestly think it's way too fast to cap the event rewards of an MK today. As a gameplay mechanic wise, I think there is a point to having it be a bit of a grind and a progression that you get to, right? The fact that I can just sit one evening on the day that the MK releases, use a couple of pots, and get all the rewards that matter from the event bonus makes me not want to run the MK more. I suspect I'm not the only player that has been doing this for like maybe the past year, right? And I think they see this in their analytics, and this is kind of them reacting to how do we get players to play MK more often and that it's actually valuable.
Maybe, but I feel like if players are not playing your MK because they don't enjoy your MK, then simply making players have to run it even more with no other changes. You just have to run it more. You hated it before, running it 100 times. They've got to run it 250 times to finish it.
No, and that's a very good point.
That is not the solution you're looking
Right.
for.
Obviously, you would want to have something that's actually enjoyable to play, but the problem with FFB is it's a game built around strategic encounters, and that's very difficult to make a enjoyable experience without a lot of effort, right? An enjoyable experience every day. I think so. The reason why I say I know it's a hot take, and I know is that the way they should solve this is by just adding more rewards, by adding more reward tiers for somebody to actually aim towards, right? Like I've said this many times. I like aiming for things in these games. I enjoy the fragment dungeon because I get to aim for certain upgrades for my units that don't happen overnight, and we have too much that just happens overnight. So in a way, I understand this change. I understand it. Will I be raging about it in this MK because I couldn't max everything in the first day? Probably, but I understand where it's coming from.
Yeah. People in chat are saying, does this give Lapis and JP? It does give Lapis. I forget the exact amount. I do know the final milestone in JP was 2,000 Lapis, and it had smaller milestones leading up to that.
Okay.
I don't remember the grand total of like the whole event gives you X amount. Somewhere like 4,000, just as the ballpark, I would say.
Okay. Well, that's nice. That does give us some type of incentive to actually run it, right?
Yeah, sure, definitely. And then as far as the tickets in JP are absolute trash. That being said, Global almost never brings over the JP specific tickets. JP
What are
has the
those?
whole thing. Well, JP has had these forever, and Global has never brought them over. They lock their EX tickets to very specific time periods and banners. They're not just general EX tickets. They're locked specifically to either a time period or a banner. And in this event, the tickets that came from the event could only be used specifically on this banner, and they had a very narrow pool, and it was very low rates. Like, for example, I think it was like a 2% NV rate, and of that 2%, 1.99999% of it was weighted towards older units like Locke and Celeste.
Oh.
So the newer units had like a 0.00001% chance.
What the hell? That is super weird.
And you actually could not get off banner because there was a curated pool.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, I'm happy that we
they're-
didn't get that then.
yeah, they're terrible, and JP is still doing them. But Global has always skipped those horrible JP tickets and just given us generic EX tickets which have the whole pool of anything in it, and those are better in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, they're still garbage, really, because, like, I don't know, I feel like the majority of players, or I not feel, I know, statistically, a majority of players think EX tickets suck because the pool sucks, and you're gonna get, like, trash units is going to be the most common experience of EX tickets. But at least they are
Yeah.
better than that garbage
Yes.
fire.
So at the very least, that green EX ticket can potentially turn into like a Ject or something.
Yeah.
If we were getting the JP tickets and you got a banner ticket and it happened to go red, you're getting like Terror or Lock from that ticket.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's definitely bad. That's definitely bad. Yeah, yeah. Okay, but at least like we're getting a bit of a better change. We're getting more incentive to log into the game and actually run this event. And to me, it's really important though. And I don't know how this is going to turn out, that it's not just a huge milestone event, right? Like so that I keep grinding and grinding and grinding, and like 1 week later I get this reward. I, as a player, really enjoy that I am constantly being rewarded in a meaningful way. So rather than it maybe being a 2K lapis reward, I would rather see 20 rewards that are 100 lapis each. Kind of. I'm that type of player. I like to get like milestones in some way. So let's see how this turns out on GL with our pace. And we don't even know if they've changed the required event points for some of these. So let's see.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we'll have to see.
I think one final thing we should mention is that we are getting another battle pass into the game, which is one of the. Sorry?
Real quick,
Yeah.
before we leave the Mog King.
Oh.
There is one other big major change. It's kind of hidden at the bottom.
Okay.
So this event is what introduced the concept of silver crowns. And it was for Terra in this event. Based on what the global news is showing, we are not getting those free silver crowns. We are instead getting gold crowns, which are unit unlocked, unit universal. Yes, silver crowns are locked to one specific unit. And in JP, if you, for example, had already crowned Terra, they were just pretty much useless. You could convert 4 of them to 1 gold at a terrible ratio, but they weren't like totally, but it was basically useless.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
And if you didn't crown Terra, well, it was free to crown her. You now have her crowned for free.
Oh.
On Global, they're changing it to gold crowns, which you can use if you want to for Terra. If you already crowned Terra, you've got 4 gold crowns to use whatever you want. Use it on Carton's Intrinsic, use it on, an older crown unit, etc. So it's a really positive change that they are not doing silvers, they're doing golds instead, because it gives more freedom to the player.
Yeah, for sure. That sounds fantastic. I would hate character-specific crowns, especially since I crowned Terra as soon as she came out with crowns. So, no, but I mean, in general, that is a much better solution. We don't know if we're then going to get the same amount of crowns or if it's going to be less. Let's see when the actual rewards come out, I guess. Okay, cool. So yeah, I just wanted to briefly mention this. Yet another battle pass. So like classic battle passes is you get to play an event and then you get extra rewards from this event if you purchase this ticket. We have that for the Adventurers Pass, which gives us extra rewards when we clear the weekly events. And then we have what did they call it? The Cow Crest Pass. I don't know what it's called.
Oh, Fortuna.
Oh yeah, the Fortuna Pass, right? Which gives you like that's a very useless pass in my mind because it gives you just a bit of extra currency, which nobody fucking needs because everyone has an excess of it, or that's how I feel at least. But now we're getting Heroes Crest Pass. That seems to be yet another battle pass that's actually focused on something else. So Sinzar, you were saying this is focused on trials.
Based on their wording, this is for defeating espers and high difficulty trials. So,
so this is not something that exists in JP.
Correct. Well, yeah, JP doesn't have like passes at all.
Oh, yes. Interesting. So this is this might be a one-off then, right? Like, because what I see here is, crests needed. So we're getting crests, right? And like for the first reward, you need 1, then you need 4, 7, 10, 13, 16, 20, and 21, caps out at 21. And if you just don't buy this, there's still rewards in this, right? Like we're getting EX tickets, normal tickets, and some other stuff in here, maybe some VIP coins and so on.
Yeah, it's the same thing as the adventure quest. So players just by default will all get the left column,
Yeah.
and then people that spend the money will also get the right column.
Right. So the question is then, where are these crests coming from? So the thing about battle passes is they're usually seasonally bound, right, or monthly bound as it is in FFBE. So this would, like, the way it sounds like, difficult trials, that would mean like, okay, you should clear the 12 type takedowns, right? But maybe this is, difficult as in if you're clearing the difficult stages of the events, right? So like,
Well, this does say starting November 17th with no end date, which sounds to me like a permanent thing, and it's for permanent content. So it's just like going to always be there, not a monthly thing.
oh, so this is kind of like a one and done. You can buy this and then you get some extra rewards. And honestly, like there are some nice rewards. I think it seems like it's a 10 out of 10 NV summon ticket. Actually, it's even more than 10.
Like, I think it's 15. No, 20.
20, right?
Yes,
Yeah, 20. So you get 2 guaranteed NVs. You get a bunch of 5-star tickets as well. So it seems very nice. There's a bit of lapis in there too. It seems to be 3K. So it's not bad. No, it's actually 3.5K.
Well, it depends. Because it has lapis, it'll very obviously be cash only. So it really depends on the price point.
Oh yeah, no. This is, I mean, so far these passes have cost like not a huge amount, but let's see. This one does seem to be maybe a bit more valuable, and it is a one-time only. So I guess it's like if it's cheaper than actually buying for 3,500 lapis, then hey, if you ever need lapis, you can just buy this if you've already done the trials, right?
Sure thing.
Okay, cool. But I guess that's it for this week, right? No new trial coming out, nothing like that?
Pretty much just the Dark Visions is still going on. Also, we can mention that the big hyped live stream is happening this coming Saturday. Well, depending on your time zone. For me, it's Saturday.
Okay, yep. That's when we're going to see the big booty 2B and A2.
That is very likely going to be what the stream is all about, yes.
Yeah. I've been saying this before, like I have, like there's obviously money involved in doing a near collab, so I have a hard time seeing them putting up any other units than the, 2B and A2 that everybody wants to pull for, but it would be pretty cool if they went for another unit from the near universe that might not be as iconic, but that it still plays a big role in the game, right?
I am ready for the solo Eve banner. No one else. That's it. Just Eve.
It's like, it would be so interesting if actually, because like we have this meme on GL. I don't know, the old timers will remember the fuck Eve meme when the original Nier banner dropped on GL. That was a great time. So, maybe it would be a great joke if like we're getting an A22B tag unit, and the other NV on banner being Eve, and he's actually horrible. He needs to be actually horrible, because we need to get the fuck Eve meme back again. So, like, Eve should be absolutely useless and share NV rates with 2B and A2. That would be nice.
Amazing.
Let's see. It's going to be interesting to see what they say. Would also be nice to see, like, 9S making a return in some way, maybe with another pod that's actually really strong. I remember that chaos as well when the first Nier banner dropped, so let's see.
It'd be awesome.
It would. All right, cool, Sinzar. Well, then, thanks for chilling this week, and I hope you're lucky with your pulls on FF6, because obviously you're going all in, right?
I will go all in for the weekly free pull.
Oh, nice. Wait, what weekly? Are we getting FF6 weekly free pull, or just the one that we have for...
just the upcoming, the final Chrono Cross free pull, and this actually wouldn't probably not even be in the pool.
Yeah, right. That's what I was thinking. I don't think they're going to be in the... Okay. All right.
I guess Edgar can't troll me.
Well, there's always EX tickets, right? Okay, thanks, dude. Talk to you later.
I'm right on time, right?
Oh, god damn it, Dream!
Wow. Literally during the outro.
All right, Dream. So, quick question before we end. What unit are you hoping for from the Nier banner? Like, what unit do you want to see?
I mean, it's probably going to be 2B and A2 they sell, but that's a fine selection.
Yeah, like a tag unit. Somebody
Yeah.
was saying like with an CGLB
Well,
where
no,
they're making out, that would be great.
I was just thinking 2 separate units, but that could work too. I mean, actually, a tag unit for those two wouldn't really make sense,
Yeah, exactly.
to be honest.
Let's not spoil the story, but it wouldn't make sense story-wise for sure.
They don't interact much.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'd say.
Yeah, exactly. So interesting. Okay, well, nice of you to join the last segment. We just basically said goodbye. So like people have already tuned out from this episode, right? Like people have already pressed stop on YouTube, but yeah.
Just how I like it.
Yeah. But thanks for tuning in for the last seconds. Listen, are you pulling on Final Fantasy 6?
No.
Not at all?
Nope.
Ah, well.
Not one bit.
I guess it's just going to be like me and Rigoro. And since Sinzar, since Cotton stopped playing, she's obviously not pulling for it. So yeah, it's just going to be 2 players in the whole world.
Maybe people want some extra gals for bonus.
Yeah, exactly. Doing some dailies to get a couple of Gaos for that accessory even.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now I have to go. So I'm sorry, Dream, but thank you for joining these last seconds and
fine.
brightening our day.
You're welcome.
Nice. Thanks, everyone. Bye again.
Later.
Bye.
Like I would